Support for If You Lived Here comes from
The Ewan Foundation, committed to bridging cultural differences within the greater Washington, D.C. community.
And now, If You Lived Here, a WETA original series.
Hi, I'm John.
I'm Christine. We're producers at WETA and pretty much inseparable.
We love living in the DMV, and finding a place to live here can be eye-opening.
We're going to tour 3 properties at 3 different price points.
And try to guess the listing price without going over.
And find out what it would be like if you lived here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so glad you're here.
So you're Boofie and you're Margaret?
Yes.
Got it right.
Is Boofie a nickname?
My given name's Mary Booth. I couldn't say it when I was little. I said Boof, and Boofie stuck.
I had no idea there was so much beautiful green space and that there were so many ponds and lakes. Is this indicative of this area?
People hear that Reston's a planned community and they think it's sterile, but the planning allows it to be beautiful. The idea of Mr. Simon when he bought all this land was to combine the best of the city and the best of the suburbs. We've always focused on Reston because we know Reston from the inside out. Margaret swam on the swim team. She was manager of the pool and met her husband. So
yes, we have deep roots in Reston.
Mom, stop.
And now I'm raising my family here in Reston. We hope to share a little bit of the feeling comes across with you all today. And I'll meet you at house number 2.
let's go.
Let's go. We have arrived.
Here we are, house number 1. This is the extension of the South Lakes Village. It has restaurants and dry cleaners, and across the street we have a pool, tennis. Because
nice.
one of the things we're great at here in Reston is recreation.
So you really don't have to leave this neighborhood for anything, really.
Not much.
Not much.
This is 3 levels, and there's a bit of a surprise out back, and I'll meet you in the back.
All right.
That's good.
Wonderful.
Have fun.
Well, you know I love surprises.
Just not the ones that pop out at you,
It's
you know?
true. But hello, cozy living area. This is really just a comfortable kind of feel to it.
So this is a starter home, and you can tell that it's been refreshed, but all the original details seem to be here.
And it is perfectly, move-in ready the way it looks now. I see a lot of open space, but yet defined spaces. Can it be open yet defined?
Yeah, sure. Dining room. Love having a round table in a small
Love
space.
those round tables.
It really works. Into the kitchen. Ooh, this is big.
Yeah, the size of this fridge, it's probably a little too big for the space, but it's the perfect refrigerator for me because I've got more on the outside of my fridge than the inside. I look at this and it's like a blank canvas.
Yeah, oh, you could do a lot with that. But you know what this is? This is an old-fashioned telephone station. So you'd have your landline, and you'd pick it up and be like, "Hi, Grandma." Oh, hold on, let me sit down. And oh, brother.
That is a step back in time.
Yeah, but I love this kitchen.
I do
as is.
too. Okay, surprise.
You found
Look at this window. There's a pond out there.
Ah,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Yeah, wow, it's a big pond.
It is, and they're fishing.
And the kids are
I wish I
fishing.
brought my spin rod. I want to go join them.
Just hysterical. I think this breakfast room is actually even bigger than the dining room. And maybe it's the great window.
Here's one thing that you never really hear me say, and that's, I don't want to leave a kitchen. This kitchen.
Wow, yeah, I never thought I'd hear that.
Right.
Let's go over here first.
Okay. All right.
Owner's suite.
Okay. This is a beautiful room.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the 3 windows.
They're inset. It's dramatic.
It does add the drama.
Yeah.
I thought the owner's suite was going to be back there with the pond view. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a really nice room.
Yeah. Okay.
And here we have the ensuite. Do you call it a full? It's a full ensuite.
It's a full, yes.
But in the future, do you think somebody would move in and maybe remodel?
Yeah, because this was a period thing. My parents had something just like this, and I would make this into one big bathroom.
And here we have a full bathroom. So that makes
2.5. Yep.
Okay. And now, okay, here's where I envisioned that you would have your owner's suite because of the view of the pond. But if this was your room growing up, what a great room.
Yeah.
And again, another
cute.
nice room.
Nice for kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very quiet in here.
It is.
All
It
right.
is. Yeah.
Nice upper floor. Downstairs?
Sounds good.
Here we go.
So lower level and half bath.
Half bath, so 2 full, 2 half.
Nice lower level.
What a surprise!
Yes,
This is a great living space down
it
here.
is. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what the view was going to look like down here.
Yeah, really stunning.
Hello.
Hi. So what did you all think?
Well, I didn't want to leave this townhouse.
Well, we both were saying over and over, this is a great starter home.
Actually, Margaret and I started 3 houses over.
No, really?
This was our first location in Reston.
Oh, that's nice.
I walked in that kitchen, I looked out the window. Not only did I see this beautiful pond, but there were 2 little boys fishing.
Oh, good.
And I have to, did you set that up?
Oh, absolutely.
Somebody could just move in. But there are some features that they would probably like to update.
Sure. Kitchen,
Yeah.
bathroom upstairs, and the main bedroom.
Yes.
I have a whole plan for that.
Good.
He does. He has the whole outline.
You know, you're welcome to move in. Okay. So we have 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2 half baths, 2,300 square feet. It was built in 1977.
I'm going to give you a price of $600,000.
Okay.
I'm going to come in at a listing price of $575,000.
So you're making the owner very happy, but I think you're going to be sad.
Oh.
I know what that means.
The list price of the property is $539,900.
Well, unfortunately,
You're closer.
We both went over.
But really, with all the amenities here, it's worth
Yes.
$600,000. This path, you said, goes all the way through Reston?
It does, and it actually goes behind house number 2 that
Our
we're going
next
to.
destination.
Our
Can
next
we walk there?
destination. Sure.
Okay.
It's 5 miles.
Okay,
No,
no.
not so much.
Margaret's going to meet you there.
See you later. Hey, can we get some fishing in?
Oh, yeah.
In the early 70s, it was the era of the new town. And there were many new towns that tried to be developed in the United States. Most failed because of the investment required to develop new towns, with, frankly, the exception of Reston and Columbia. And they today are the 2 premier planned communities of the new town era developed in the 70s. Bob Simon in 1964 began the Newtown movement in Virginia. His family owned Carnegie Hall, and Bob sold Carnegie Hall and used those funds to purchase the land that's today Reston. And as part of that was his vision that it be for all people. And when I say all people, I mean people of all races and all income levels.
I've been working in Reston almost as long as Reston has been a community. Reston was the first open community in Virginia. Virginia was a segregated state in 1960s. And that's one of the things I loved about Reston. It was different. And Bob believed in community and that amenities and all the things that make a community need to be there from the beginning. Bob graduated from Harvard, studied urban planning. He'd been in Europe. He saw some of the urban planning that had gone on and he'd seen little towns and how they kind of grew with a mix of people living over their stores and things like that. And he said, American suburbs are bland. We need to do what they do in Europe. That's the idea of village centers. It's a place where people could live, work, and play, have a variety of housing that they could live their whole lives here, from childhood to old age, and never have to leave.
We are in the Lake Ann district. This is the original district of Reston. It was the first cluster built, the first senior housing built, and the lake was the first lake built in Reston. Bob hired the very best for his design work, both in the planning and layout of Reston, but also the architecture of the individual housing developments. Charles Goodwin was extremely important because he designed the first cluster in Reston, which was a townhouse development in the modernist style. And the town center began its development in the 90s. The town center was developed on purpose in the later stages because you need the people there to support the commercial base. The town center was always Bob's vision of the high-density center of Reston. He may not have liked all of the architecture that came to pass, but the development of it and the success of it is something he was very pleased about.
Hey, hey.
Hi. Welcome to house number 2.
This is exciting, little switcheroo. First your mom, and now you.
Yep, you get both of us.
All right.
So we're in South Reston. This is the older side of Reston. We have a lot of variation. So we have this, which is a split level.
Yeah.
We have center hall colonials. We have lots of contemporaries. And it's a really great opportunity to find a house that has great bones, has a really good foundation, and then you can build onto it yourself. You can update what's there.
Nice.
So, something for everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. So go ahead and have a look, and I'll meet you out back when you're done.
Sounds good. Oh.
Ooh la la.
So definitely a split level that's been renovated.
Yes, ma'am. Starting with this
Oh yeah, starting right with the bathroom.
half bath.
And may I say, a really nice renovated half bath.
That's a good-looking vanity. Oh, this kitchen, Tina. Wow, you can really tell this has been like reimagined. You know what I smell? Everything new. This is a new kitchen.
Yeah.
That wolf range.
And how about this beautiful quartz island?
Is that quartz?
Of course it is.
Well, you know, I don't think we should be touching anything in this kitchen because it's all so brand new. You know, it's such a pretty kitchen.
It is pretty, and you know that splash of red on your stove? You know, I appreciate that more than probably the cooking on it, actually.
A lot of people get stoves like that and they don't cook on them. But it's so interesting what they did with little details like this little ledge up here. Before we go on, you have to say, look at the dining room. What a great space and a great flow. Oh, look at this, sunroom.
Speaking of the outdoors,
Yep, addition to the back, yet another level.
right? You know what I love is that they put their coffee bar out here,
Yeah.
which means I'm having my coffee out here every morning.
Coffee bar in the morning, wine bar with this wine fridge at night. Oh, the old split level.
This is the room I would spend most of my time in. You look at that screen porch
Yeah.
and the trees. It's just very calming. It's just pretty.
And that's what Reston is all about.
And I even see the trail.
Right. There's a little gate, and then you go directly to the trail. Wonderful room. And this fireplace. Original and so groovy.
The design, I think that is so unique.
Dynamite looking. A game room.
Ah, now this is fun.
Okay, so nice to have a game room, but this room could be anything. Could be another living area or office.
Oh no, this is perfect as a game room. I would keep it with the pool table.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I say we head downstairs. I think there's another level. All right. And we have entered the basement officially.
Not a finished basement,
Yeah.
but it looks like they're using it probably regularly as their workout room.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Let's check out the upper level. You know what I'm noticing right away?
Yeah, I know what you're noticing.
Right, these are the original floors.
It is the original flooring, and I like it.
I know, it's about 1.5 inches wide. I don't know if I've seen
I have never, they're cute. I want those floors. Okay, well, bedroom number 1.
All right, this is bedroom number 2. They're probably identical, 2 good kids' rooms.
Yeah.
All right.
Which that's what they're being used for.
Okay.
Into
Full bath.
a full bath.
All right, so an ensuite.
So is this the owner's?
I'm not sure. You
So-
know, I wonder, because looking at this bathroom, obviously the bathroom's not original.
Yep,
Okay, I'm wondering if this was actually a whole other bedroom.
I think so.
Right, because when you look at the floor,
Yep.
yeah, a wall may have been here.
Yes.
And that's a large, like, sitting area if you were gonna have a sitting area.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay, but now I think this is the main bedroom in the house.
Right, but you know, I feel like I'm walking to a new wing of
It's
the home.
nice. Oh.
Ah. This feels like you just walked into your private sanctuary.
And it is.
And of course, the beautiful windows letting in the natural light and just the view.
Yep. And bathroom?
Okay, this is a really good sized bathroom.
Yo.
We've got the double vanities over here.
Marble shower.
Right, and obviously this isn't the original bathroom.
Sure enough. Are you sure you don't want to just hang out in this room and
It is peaceful.
enjoy it? It is pretty peaceful.
I know.
It's a good room.
Hi,
Hey.
Margaret.
So, what did you think?
Well, first of all, this back area.
Yeah.
Just
Can we
being
talk
out
about
here.
this? This is a very, low maintenance yard, really, because there's a lot of like ground cover.
Right, perennials that don't need a lot of care but look great.
Yes, it's beautifully manicured, but not a headache.
Right.
Perfect balance. So what do you think about the inside?
Blew us away. I grew up in a split level, not like this. It's really so nicely done. That kitchen, and just spectacular.
Do you have any other questions about the house?
HOA.
The HOA is Reston Association, which is $718 a year. Includes the 14 pools, about 40 tennis courts, the trails. I know you may have seen that at the previous house as well.
We walked from the last house, actually.
Oh, good
it's like
for you.
5 miles.
No, he's lying.
We drove.
Yeah.
So the stats for the house. It's a 4-bedroom house, 3.5 bath. It's 2,500 square feet, and it was built in 1968.
2,500 square feet.
Yeah, that's so surprising.
Yeah, it feels so much bigger.
Let's hear it. What are your guesses?
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go 925,000.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I am going to come in with a guess for this home of $800,000.
All right, well, the actual list price, $889,900.
It's Begeny for the win!
You were so close.
You were really close to it.
But now we're gonna head to Reston Town Center.
Let's do it.
All right.
I've worked for Reston Community Center for 37 years and have had a love affair with this community really since coming to Lake Ann in high school. Bob Simon, who founded Reston, he used to say that community is what it's all about. And the community center is really a catalyst for that. Reston's recreational amenities have been both outdoors and indoors. And so water safety and creating a human-friendly aquatics environment has been a central recreational value throughout Reston's history.
There's 14 outdoor pools currently in operation in the Reston community. So with all the lakes and all the outdoor pools, swimming is a huge aspect of Reston. The Reston Community Center is heavily involved in our drowning education awareness program. So we have year-round programming in which we are focusing on getting every child in Reston the ability to learn how to swim, whether they pay for it or not.
If somebody was visiting or thinking about moving to Reston, I would tell them that if you like outdoor activities and down-to-earth people, this is the place for you. A lot of people stand up paddleboard on the lake, take out kayaks on the lake. And Reston actually has a very welcoming running community, and that really has been a source of such joy living here these 20 years.
One of the things that living on Lake Ann has really informed within me is how much impact the built environment has on people. Really baked into the recipe from the beginning was the existence of public art. And so if you look around the plaza, you'll see we have sculptures. We call them the concrete toys. Children have been climbing on for generations. Bob invited artists like Gonzalo Fonseca to participate from day one. So this is one of the most popular installations of Gonzalo Fonseca's. This is called the Sunboat Sculpture. It is a favorite with kids who immediately recognize it as a boat. And so let's take a walk down this path and we'll go take a look at the next Fonseca installation. We are now entering into the North Shore Underpass. This is, without a doubt, one of my favorite places. What you'll see is reminiscent of what we saw on the plaza. So we've got the Sun boat, which is sort of a carved out piece in the concrete, and then here you have it as a sculptural piece. I remember my grandson walking through here at age 6, and he stopped and he says, "Gima, is this magic?" I said, yes, it is magic, and I have really come to believe that that's the magic of living with art built into your space.
There she is.
Welcome to Midtown.
Thanks. Wow, there is so much going on here.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Very dog friendly, very family friendly, and there's a fine arts festival here. It doesn't feel like you're dropped in the middle of a city. You're gonna be heading to the East Tower, and you're gonna be going to the 21st floor, the very top.
Count
The
'em.
very top.
Count 'em, right up there.
I can see him. I think I can. It's pretty high.
It is.
You know, I don't know if we've ever toured a penthouse.
We haven't. This is a first for
Well,
the
you'll
show.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
And then afterwards, we'll meet you
We'll meet you inside.
inside.
right.
Sounds great. Okay, guys.
Have fun.
Okay. Whoa.
Take a look at that.
So this is urban living.
All the way.
21 floors up.
You can see the metro station right across the way. What a contrast. We were just at that house with those beautiful woods. It was so serene and
nice
calm.
zen moment.
And then, bam, you know, which is really cool. But that's the story of Reston, too. And then this.
Oh, hey, did you notice that there's actually a living space here?
There's actually a living space. There's a lot to take in when you come into this space.
You come in, this is the first thing you gravitate to. You look up, you're looking everywhere, and then you realize, oh, hey, yeah, you can actually, there's a living room.
There's a living room.
Look at this light fixture. It's
Yeah.
like an art installation in itself.
It is. And these windows all around. What do you say we check out this room? Looks like it's a den bedroom. You know what I'm seeing is this is not the place to buy if you have a fear of heights. Because, whoa, are we high up?
So here we have a, spacious bedroom, and of course, not only do we have this great view, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking about you, step aside so I can see, but you've got this great skyline.
And I like the roof line of all the buildings here in
Yeah.
the town center. Okay, I'll check out what's behind all these doors.
Okay.
Oh, big surprise. It's a walk-in closet with built-ins.
Who knew?
I didn't expect that at all. Oh, more built-ins.
Okay.
And door number 3, closet. Another closet. Lots of closets in this house, but also the bathrooms.
All right, let me check that out with you.
Okay, look
All
at,
right.
now this is a marble we do not see often.
No. What do you think of the tile?
Well, it's kind of like taking me back to something like this, like the 70s, like a high grade. It's kind of groovy.
It is, it really is a stunning bathroom.
Still a luxury net bath,
Yeah.
very nice. Yep. Okay, into a room with more views, the dining room.
Whoa, you step in here and you almost have to take a step back and just awe. You can have your breakfast looking at this view,
Yeah.
have your lunch looking at this view,
Yeah.
and then have dinner looking at that view.
Yeah.
I'm kind of calling this one my favorite so far.
It's my favorite so far,
Yeah.
too. We're in a combo breakfast room, kitchen,
And another
seating
seating area.
Yep. And, there's another balcony out here, little balcony.
Yeah, well, I think little is the operative word because I keep waiting for a bigger balcony up here.
Yeah.
Take advantage of those views in the outdoor space.
Yeah, in such a grand space. But I tell you what I would do with that balcony, because the kitchen's right here, I'd do an herb garden out there.
Oh, you're smart.
That's
You're
right. You go clip your herbs, make a little pesto right here in the kitchen.
Oh, well, you are the cook. Okay, wait a second. I know you're the cook. I'm going to channel my inner John.
Wow,
okay?
that should be good.
All right, because I'm seeing something that you always ooh and ah over. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh my gosh. There's a Bosch. Bosch
Lord.
dishwasher. Oh, a Viking stove, 4 burners and something in the middle. Okay. A Viking microwave and oven. Not quite sure what that is. Oh, Tina, a Sub-Zero refrigerator. Whoa. Wheezy, as a cook, this kitchen is perfect for me. How was that?
Wow. I gotta say, I think you nailed it.
All right. Either half bath,
Let's
closet?
check it out.
All right. Oh.
All right. And it's been updated. I like the finishes in here.
I do. I like the floor to ceiling tile.
Yeah, that's glass tile.
Ooh. I like the scheme that they used in here.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, look at this
Hey.
bedroom.
So, John, what do you think of it?
I think it looks great.
John?
And right here, look.
Oh my God! You just.
I'm not just a
you
floating head,
You just
Tina.
blend right in.
So 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths.
We
Up we
check it-
go. Now, here's a balcony. Now that's what I call a balcony. Take a look at
Okay.
that. That is what we've been waiting for. And look at this. So this is more like a gallery space for art, with views of the living room. Nice. It really shows the scope of how modern this place is with all the great windows, the light, just the general construct of it, and
you know, everything I said downstairs about, oh, this balcony's too small, or I'd like to see something bigger, looking out there and seeing that view and the space, I take it all back.
Yeah, you should.
I know.
I mean, you could put a whole other condo out there.
You're good.
So, bedroom number 3.
Yep.
Maybe a kid's bedroom, guest bedroom. It's a long bedroom.
Yeah.
And down here,
okay, ensuite.
En-suites.
So
3 full baths.
3 full baths, that's right, because there's
half.
one downstairs.
Yeah. Well, this has been a trip to the top. Hey! Oh, you brought refreshments.
Nice. Yeah.
So what did you think?
I think my favorite room was the dining room.
You know, the views on all 3 sides.
Then you have these 2 mammoth terraces up here, rooftop terraces, which I could just really re-envision with, you know, seating areas and maybe a jacuzzi on that one and some trees, maybe an outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
There's a workout room.
Nice.
You're close to all the restaurants. And there are 4 parking spaces.
Okay,
4?
you need that.
Oh, that's
I think
nice.
this place deserves 4 parking spaces. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there a condo fee?
There is a condo fee. It's $2,000 a month.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Let me tell you about the stats. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath unit. Square footage is 2989 with about 1,200 square feet of outdoor space. All of that together, what do you guys think?
All right.
What I think is, I'm glad you're going first.
I'm not
That's
so
what I
glad
think.
right now. I am going to make a guess of $2,350,000.
Okay, and?
No pressure.
I'm gonna do 1.8 million.
And the actual list price is $2,700,000.
I can't even believe it. I was thinking like, I was gonna do 2.1. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go big. I'm gonna go 2.35.
Yes.
So, all right.
Oh, so we should celebrate.
Yes.
But this doesn't cut it.
Oh, no.
Let's go have a glass of wine on my deck.
That sounds perfect.
All right, let's go.
If you lived here, you know that Thursday nights are the best nights to go paddleboarding on the lake because there's live music, beautiful sunsets, you can have a glass of wine, see your friends.
If you lived here, you would know that the Lake Ann Coffee House is a great local spot for coffee and brunch.
If you lived here, you would know that the Reston has the finest farmers market in all of Northern Virginia, and it has had it for 24 years since I founded it together with Robert Simon in 1998.
Bob Simon, Robert E. Simon, he's the RES in Reston. First and foremost, he was my neighbor.
To find out more about living in the Washington metro area, visit WETA.org/if you lived here. Support for If You Lived Here comes from
The Ewan Foundation, committed to bridging cultural differences within the greater Washington, D.C. community.